Hi everyone, I've got some fresh, beautiful strawberries to harvest today. Strawberries are one of those things that it's very expensive to buy at the grocery store, especially organic ones. So we're gonna pick a couple today, and then I'm gonna show you how to root or propagate strawberry runners so you can have free plants for growing your own fresh strawberries. So these are looking absolutely beautiful. It's really fun to have fresh strawberries in the wintertime, and you can tell when they're ripe when they're nice and bright, shiny red. There's very little white at the top of the berry here. That's when the flavor is gonna be the best. Oh, these look so good. So we're gonna give these a pick. Growing your own strawberries is just so rewarding, and eating them is even more fun. Don't those look delicious? All right, let's go plant some free plants. Now, the best time to grow strawberries in northern climates is to plant them in the spring. But here in Southern California, we have such mild winters. They grow over the winter, albeit producing very slowly. They really start picking up again when the spring kicks in. The temperatures are between 60 and 85 degrees. So you're gonna absolutely love growing strawberries in your garden. However, plants can be quite expensive. And the cool thing about many varieties of strawberries is that they produce these runners. Now, let me show you what I mean. Here we've got a plant that looks kind of a mess right now. It actually was covered up by the blackberries that we just trimmed the other day. And when I trimmed back the blackberries, I discovered all of these runners on this plant. Now, they grow beautifully in a container, so they're growing here in this 5-gallon smart pots. But what a runner is, it's a shoot that comes out from the parent plant, and it's already starting to grow these little roots, and you can easily root them in soil for free plants for next year. Super easy to do, but first off, before we root the runners, this plant needs some pruning and trimming up. So let's start with that first. So this plant has been just a little neglected, I have to admit, because it was covered by all the blackberry bushes. I totally forgot about it. So strawberries really do respond to a really good pruning. So I'm gonna go in here with my Hosling pruners, and I love these because the ergonomic handle makes your hand not get strained while you're pruning. Plus the color pink is really fun. They also come in green. But I'm going to go through here and trim off any of the dead looking stems or dead looking leaves. So all the energy goes into producing brand new growth instead of, all the old dead stuff. Go through and clean this plant up, and it's going to look so much better. You northern gardeners, if you're overwintering your plants, you want to do this in the springtime. As soon as the snow melts and the weather starts warming up into the 50s and 60s, your plant is going to start bursting into growth again. Southern gardeners, you can do this right now in the wintertime. So anything that looks brown and crispy, just take it off. At this point, I'll even trim off the leaves that are a little bit yellowing or that have changed colors because of the cool weather. We want all the dead growth of the plant off of there, so the strawberries don't have to spend any of its energy keeping those dead parts of the plant alive. The plant is looking so much better now with all of the dead stuff out of there. It's going to grow absolutely beautifully. And let me just show you how long these runners are. It's just crazy. I had no idea this plant was producing so many runners. There's probably at least 5 or 6 main runner shoots coming off of this parent plant, and they literally are about 6 feet long with 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 little spots that we can root here in my 5-gallon pot. So it's so easy to root the runners. What you want to do is just get another pot of soil. I've got my 5-gallon black smart pots here, and you just bring your runner over, if I can find the end of this and untangle it, and you pop the little root here. I'm just going to pick off some of these little dead spots on the runners. You pop the little root here in soil. I'm just going to make a little hole with my finger. Put the root in. You don't want to cover the main top of the crown. This part of the strawberry is called the crown. You just want to poke these roots right here into the soil and leave the little crown part sticking out. And what I like to do to help them root a little bit faster is just take a bobby pin, kind of spread it apart, and kind of just pin it into the soil there so it has better contact with the soil and will root faster. So I'm going to go ahead and root a lot of these runners in this pot. And then we'll come back and talk about what to do once they are rooted. Another word for rooting is propagating. You might have heard that. And that's simply creating a new plant from a parent plant. This one's got a really, really good set of roots right there. I've got about 10 runners propagated or rooted in here. That means 10 free plants. So lots more berries for us next year. Now, you can root them in a container. I've got them planted fairly closely together because I'm going to be transplanting them at some point. But you can also root them right in the soil if you've got strawberries growing in a raised bed, or in this case, in a container rooted into the soil right behind it. There's some that actually just naturally rooted in here last summer. And here's another little runner growing out of the same container that I'm just going to root right in the soil. And this time I'm actually using a little paper clip that I've just fashioned into a little strawberry root or pin. I'm just going to push it into the soil. You can also use like a landscape staple. And it'll root right there. Next, what to do once your strawberry runners establish roots. So right now you can see they're still connected to the mother plant with the little runner shoots here. But after a couple of weeks, the roots will get established in the soil. You'll tug on it and you'll feel just a little bit of resistance, and then they're ready to be disconnected from the mother plant. So let me show you what I mean right over here. Here I've got a strawberry plant that I rooted last summer, so it's well established in here. I'm tugging on it. There's lots of resistance, which means the roots have really developed nicely. So what I'm going to do is take the little runner shoot here and disconnect it from the mother plant simply by snipping it off. And that way now it's all on its own, it's independent. I can move this container around wherever I want to, or even root more runners right in the container. Something important to know, when you're in the middle of strawberry fruit production and you want lots and lots of berries, that's not the time to be propagating your runners. At that point, you want to go ahead and trim the runners off. But now during the winter time, when I'm not getting a lot of strawberry production, it's a perfect time, here in Southern California anyway, to go ahead and root those runners and get lots and lots of free plants for next spring. Now this strawberry plant is absolutely going crazy with runners. You can see all these little runners that I have coming up, already starting to develop roots. So I'll definitely be propagating those, adding some more containers back here or putting them in the soil, and I'll have lots more berries to grow next spring. Now, in the springtime though, I'm going to be digging these up and transplanting them throughout the garden, so I have fresh new plants for lots more berries. Looking forward to having tons more berries next spring. What I want you to do is go out and check your strawberry plants, see if any of them are producing runners, and go ahead and propagate and root those runners so you have a lot more harvest with. Head over to our seed and garden shop at CallieKimGardenandHome.com. 50% off all seed collections. We're having a clearance sale. You don't want to miss this. It's a once-a-year discount, so go over now and stock up for spring. The code for that is Winter Garden. Now let's dig in and have some strawberries. Nothing like homegrown. So sweet and juicy. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.